So I started cycling over 60 days now, and I don't have a single friend in the sport, which made one thing pretty clear to me, that making friends in cycling isn't as easy as it looks. So over the last few weeks, I've been trying various ways to make friends within the cycling world, and in this video I'm going to be breaking them down and rating them on 3 key criteria. 1, how easy they are to start. 2, the chance of actually making friends. And 3, how beginner friendly it is for people like me, because I am a very new cyclist and some events are just not for me. Not because I don't want to be, but purely because my skill level isn't there. My average speed is about 21, 22 kilometers per hour on a good day. And I've been seeing events that have been an average pace of 26, 27 kilometers per hour. And as you can already tell, I'd fall behind pretty quickly. So I'm essentially making this video to make it easier for anybody who's looking to make some friends in cycling, understand what their actual viable options are. Starting with group rides. I actually went on my first group ride last Saturday and I absolutely loved it. Being in an environment where there's other cyclists that I can enjoy this time with, learn from them, and basically have a structure where I can consistently ride with other people is something that I really recommend for all beginners. And it was just so much fun to be able to talk cycling stuff, see all of the other cycling events they have planned, and potentially be involved in it as well. But for all of that, there are some negative points to be aware of. Now for the East, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's pretty easy to start, you simply just show up and ride. But for a lot of group rides, they do have a minimum speed entry. For example, my Saturday one was, I think it was around 25 to 26 kilometers an hour. It wasn't exactly defined on paper, but that was the speed the group was going at. And for me as a new beginner, I was averaging about 21, 22. So it was a little bit hard for me to keep up, but with the people there, they were so welcoming, so friendly that a few of them did drop off just to give me some advice, just to give me some motivation to keep pushing. And that's something that I really appreciated. So it's something to bear in mind that not all group rides will be accommodating for you. So it's just important to understand that and to be aware of that before you just jump into any group ride. Chances to make friends, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Most people who go to these group rides generally have no ego. They understand where you've been because they were once there themselves, and they'll be more than happy to make more cycling friends especially. And beginner friendliness, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. That's a little bit harsh, mainly because of the speed aspect. That's something that really limited me from starting this a whole lot earlier, if I say. I wasn't the fittest at the start, I'm certainly not fit now, but understanding and the fear of not wanting to be dropped can be ponderous along my mind. That was a big word for me, I know. But yeah, that's probably been the main barrier to entry for group rides, understanding that there are going to be some groups where there is a minimum speed requirements. But if you can find a group ride where there are no drops or the speed limit is within your range, I highly recommend it, because making friends there it'll literally be so easy. You just turn up and you're making friends. But yeah. So yeah, group rides are great, especially when you know what you want and you understand that you can find the groups that are best suited for you, but they're not the best out there. They're a good option, but they're not the best, which leads me to the next thing, cycling clubs. Cycling clubs are essentially group rides, but a little bit more organized. They usually have set days within the week where they plan out to ride, and people can respond whether saying they're attending or they're not attending. And it's a way to make some really good friends because you're seeing these faces on a consistent basis. Ease of starting, I'd definitely give it a 6 out of 10. A lot of clubs do allow you to ride once or twice for free, just to get the vibe of the club, see if it's right for you, and then if you'd like to, then sign on. And most of these memberships aren't really that expensive. They're like 10 to 20 pounds for the year, so it's well within most people's budgets, and it's a great way to get an intro into this stuff. Chance to make friends, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. This is solid because you're going to be seeing these people on a regular basis, once, twice, or even 3 times a week. So it's a great way to build that relationship and build more friends within the cycling community. Beginner friendliness, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Most clubs are accommodating to new beginners, but again, some clubs will have speed sessions sessions where there's a minimum speed. So it's just about understanding where you sit within that range and if they accommodate for you. But other than that, it's a solid option. The cycling clubs are a great way to consistently meet people and build rapport between them. But I did try another method, which is cycling events. And I did my first cycling event 2 weeks ago now in the Cambridgeshire Classic. And I absolutely loved it. I did 94 kilometers, which took me about 5 hours. Slow, I know, but we're getting there. But in terms of making friends, it's a little bit more difficult. With these cycling events, most people are training somewhat for these and they're preparing for the big day. So their attention and their focus is generally on towards creating that performance, making sure they're in the zone, making sure they're ready to perform, and basically carry out what they've been preparing to do. So that can make it a little bit more difficult to socialize with people because, as you can imagine, they're focused on their own task. But that doesn't mean it's completely off. It just makes things a little bit more it just adds a little bit more friction to the process you naturally would when making friends in like a cycling club. So for East, I'd give it a 5 out of 10, mainly because most of these events you need to do a little bit of preparation, especially if you're new to this. Like me, it took me like a couple of weeks to get ready for this race. Not that it was intense or anything, but at least just to complete it, I know I could. So ease of start, it's not the best for beginners, but it definitely is possible. For the chance of making friends, I think I'll have to give it a 5 out of 10 again, because most people they're going there to complete a task, to run their race and to complete it in the best time that they possibly can, or just to complete it in general. So it can make that process of making friends that naturally would be smoother add a bit more bumps, but again, it's definitely not impossible. I'm 100% sure of that, but it may just make it a little bit more difficult, I'd say. Event how beginner friendly it is, again, I'd have to give it a 5, maybe even a 4. For most of these events, if you're a complete beginner to cycling, it probably isn't the best for you to do that because your body might not be ready, but who am I to say? That's just my case. But for me, I definitely wouldn't be using cycling events as the main thing to rely on in terms of making friends personally. However, there is one more way that isn't really spoken about on making friends, especially in cycling, but it's a great way to make friends without any pressure really. My first cycling friend didn't come through any of these events. It actually came through a DM. You see, at the time I was in between this middle ground. I'd done enough training to have a decent level of fitness for a complete beginner, but I wasn't good enough to quite be joining those group rides, those 24, 25 kilometers per hour. So I was a bit confused on where do I go from here. So when I got a message from a friend called Aman on Instagram, I took the opportunity with both hands, and it was the perfect opportunity for me because there was no pressure, no expectations. I didn't have to keep up with a group per se. It was just a nice casual ride, and I got to make friends with someone. I learned more about someone, and there's a new person in my network now. We could go at whatever pace we wanted, we could take breaks as we want, and it was just the two of us. It wasn't like it affected everybody else's schedule. If I'm being honest with you, I'm really glad it did, because that gave me the confidence to then go my group ride. Because when I understood that, yeah, I've built up a level of fitness where I can actually ride with someone else, because Aman has got crazy lungs. Like, I think before we even met up for the ride, he'd done something like 80 kilometers before we did that, and then we then did another 30 kilometers after that. So it was just, although he's tired, of course I should be keeping up, but still it was a good morale booster for me. So yeah, those are technically the 3+1 ways you can make friends in cycling. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be aiming to do at least one YouTube video a week, and yeah, let me know if you want to see anything else in particular. Peace.